Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Jiyadinullah Lore Bavin and my number student is A3200171 and I'm from class G. In here I'm talking about chapter 3, the law of club and fang. Buck first day at the beach was terrible. What a chance from his comfortable happy life with the judge in the sunny Southland. Here there was no peace or rest. There was only confusion and noise. There was danger everywhere because these dogs and men were not city dogs and men. They only knew the law of club and fang. Buck never saw dogs like this. They fought like wolf. He learned this by watching Curly. She wanted to make friends with a husky. The husky jumped on Curly and tore her face from eye to mouth. Wolf and husky fight like this. They attack and jump away, but this fight was not finished. 30 or 40 husky came and made a circle around the fight. Curly attacked her enemy, but the husky beat her again. She fell to the ground and never stood up again. The other husky moved in and suddenly she was under them. Buck saw Spritz run away with his red toe out of his mouth. He was lounging. Curly was dead in the snow. Her body was almost in peace. Buck often saw the second in his dreams. He understood that when a dog was injured, that was the end. Spirits laughed again, and from that moment, Buck hated him. Son, Buck hated others' surprise. Francis put a harness on him. Buck remembered the harness on horse at home, so now he must work like a horse. He must pull the sled to the forest to get firewood. He was offended, but he decided to work and do his best. He worked with spirits and death and learned a lot from them. He learned to stop when Francis said who and to go when he said must. 2, 3 are very good dogs, Francis told Perrault. Buck pulls well and learns quickly. That afternoon, Perrault bought two huskies called Billy and Joe. They were brothers. Billy was very friendly, but Joe was the opposite. In the evening, Perrault bought another dog called Solex. He was an old husky with only one eye. He made no friends and wanted to be alone. The night bug had another problem. Where clothes to sleep. Francis and Perrault were in their tent. When Puck tried to enter, they shouted angrily at him. It was terribly cold and windy outside. He tried to sleep in the snow, but it was too cold. Puck walked sadly around the tent. He looked for the other dogs, but he could not find them. Where were they? Puck was very cold and unhappy. He did not know what to do. Suddenly he fell into a hole. He felt something move and then heard a friendly dog. Under the snow, in the warm hole, he saw Billy. Billy liked Buck's face with his warm, with tongue. Another reason, so that was how the dogs sleep Buck chose. Buck chose a sleep place and made a hole. In a minute, he was warm and sleep. He slept well but bad dreams. That noise of the camp woke him up the next morning. What did I say? Francis shouted to Perrault. That that bug learns quickly. Perrault smiled. He was a courier for the Canadian government. He transported important documents and he needed the pet dog. He bought 3 dogs that morning. Now there were 9 dogs in harness, and they were going up the DA Canyon. The work was hard, but Buck liked it. He was surprised that Dave and Soul legs were not bored now. Pulling in a harness was their job and they were happy. All the dogs were alert and active. Billy was the sled dog. Was he was nursed to the sled. Dave was in from in him. Then there was Buck. In front of them were the other dogs. Spitz was the leader in front. Dave and Solex were Buck teacher. When Buck pulled the wrong way, Dave always beat his leg lightly. Buck learned quickly. It was hard journey up the canyon. Ship came and into the mountains. The night they camped at like beneath. Thousands of gold mines were there. Buck made his hole in the snow and slept well. Very early the next morning, Buck and his team started pulling the sled again. That day they traveled 40 miles on a good trail, but the next day there was no trail. The dogs worked harder and they traveled slowly. Perrault usually went in front of the dogs with his snow hose. He made two snow flat Francis quit the sled from behind. Perrault was in a hurry. We know all about ice and this was very important. In the fall, the ice way very thin. Day after day, Buck worked hard and pulled the sled. The dogs started before it was light and stopped in the evening after dark. They ate a piece of fish and went to sleep. Buck was always hungry. Everybody he ate a pound and half of fish, but he was never enough. One day he saw another dog called Pike steal meat from the road. Buck did the same the next day and no one saw him. Buck was learning to live in the hostly Northland. In the Southland, he never stole, but he was never hungry. In the Southland, there was the law of love and friendship. The man with the red sweater law with taught him the law of club and fang. He learned to eat all kinds of food. He learned to fight and become very clever. He became stronger and more primitive. The natural force inside of him became alive. It was easy of Buck to fight like a wolf because he was in his blood. A night we looked at a star and howled like his ancestors did long ago. Buck was following his instinct. Dan ini terjemahan bahasa Indonesianya. Fang Club, Fang Club dan Fang. Hari pertama Buck di pantai dia sangat buruk. Benar-benar perubahan dari kehidupannya yang nyaman dan bahagia bersama sang hakim di Southland yang cerah. Di sini tidak ada kedamaian atau ketenangan. Yang ada hanya kebingungan dan kebisingan. Ada bahaya di mana-mana. Karena anjing dan manusia itu bukanlah manusia dan anjing yang di kota. Mereka hanya tahu hukum pemukul dan taring. Buck tidak pernah melihat anjing seperti ini. Mereka bertarung seperti serigala. Dia mempelajari ini dengan menonton Curly. Dia ingin berteman dengan seekor husky. Husky itu melompat ke Curly dan dia merobek wajahnya dari malam ke mulut. Serigala dan husky bertarung seperti ini. Mereka menyerang dan kemudian melompat menjauh. Tapi pertarungan ini belum selesai. 30 atau 40 husky datang dan membuat lingkaran di sekitar pertarungan. Keriting menyerang musuhnya, tetapi husky menggigitnya lagi. Dia jatuh ke tanah dan berdiri lagi. Husky lainnya pindah dan tiba-tiba mereka berada di bawah. Buck melihat Spitz kabur dengan lidah merah keluar dari mulutnya. Dia tertawa. Curly mati di salju. Tubuhnya hampir hancur berkeping-keping. Buck seperti melihat adegan di dalam mimpinya. Dia mengerti bahwa ketika seekor anjing terluka, itulah akhirnya. Spitz tertawa lagi dan sejak saat itu Buck membencinya. Segera Buck mendapat kejutan lain. Francois memasang tali kekang kepadanya. Buck ingat tali kekang pada kuda di rumah. Jadi sekarang dia harus bekerja seperti kuda. Dia harus menarik kereta luncur ke hutan untuk mendapatkan kayu bakar. Dia tersinggung, tapi dia memutuskan untuk bekerja dan melakukan yang terbaik. Dia bekerja dengan Spitz dan Dave dan belajar banyak dari mereka. Dia belajar berhenti ketika Francois berkata "hu" dan pergi saat dia berkata "bubur". Ketiganya adalah anjing yang sangat baik, kata Francois pada Peraul. Buck menarik dan baik dan belajar dengan cepat. Sore itu Peraul membeli 2 husky bernama Billy dan Joe. Mereka bersaudara. Billy sangat ramah, tetapi Joe sebaliknya. Di malam hari, Peraud membelai anjing lain bernama Sollex. Dia adalah seorang husky tua dengan hanya satu mata. Dia tidak memiliki teman dan ingin sendirian. Malam itu Buck punya masalah lain, di mana tidak dia bisa tidur. Francois dan Pelaut ada di tenda mereka saat Buck mencoba masuk. Panggilan alam liar. Mereka berteriak marah kepadanya. Dia di luar sangat kedinginan dan berangin. Dia mencoba untuk tidur di salju, tapi itu terlalu dingin. Buck berjalan dengan sedih di sekitar tenda. Dia mencari anjing lain, tapi tidak dapat menemukannya. Di mana mereka? Buck sangat dingin dan tidak bahagia. Dia tidak tahu harus berbuat apa. Tiba-tiba dia jatuh ke dalam lubang. Dia merasakan sesuatu bergerak dan kemudian mendengar gonggongan ramah di bawah salju. Di dalam lubang yang hangat, Billy menjilat wajah Buck dengan lidahnya yang hangat dan basah. Pelajaran lain, jadi begitulah cara anjing tidur memilih, menempatkan dan membuat lubang. Dalam 1 menit dia sangat hangat dan tertidur. Dia tidur nyenyak tapi mengalami mimpi buruk. Suara-suara camp membangunkannya keesokan harinya. Apa yang saya katakan? Teriak Francois pada Pelaut. Buck itu belajar dengan cepat. Pelaut tersenyum. Dia adalah seorang kurir untuk pemerintah Kanada. Dia mengangkut dokumen penting. Dia membutuhkan anjing terbaik. Dia membeli 3 anjing pagi itu. Sekarang ada 9 anjing di tali kekang dan mereka akan mendaki dia kanyon. Pekerjaan itu berat, tetapi Buck menyukainya. Dia heran Dave dan Sollex tidak bosan sekarang. Menarik tali kekang adalah tugas mereka dan mereka bahagia. Semua anjing waspada dan aktif. Billy adalah anjing kereta luncur. Dia paling dekat dengan kereta luncur. Dave ada di depannya, lalu ada Buck di depannya. Dan mereka ada anjing-anjing lain. Spitz adalah pemimpin di depan. Dave dan Sollex adalah guru Buck. Ketika Buck menaiki dengan cara yang salah, Dave selalu menggigit kakinya dengan ringan. Buck belajar dengan cepat. Itu adalah pelajaran yang sulit. Perjalanan yang sulit mendaki ngarai melalui camp domba ke pegunungan. Malam itu mereka berkemah di Danau Bennett. Ribuan penambang emas ada di sana. Buck membuat lubang di salju dan tidur nyenyak. Keesokan paginya, Buck dan timnya mulai menarik kereta luncur lagi. Hari ini mereka melakukan perjalanan bermil-mil di jalur yang bagus. Tapi keesokan harinya tidak ada jejak. Anjing-anjing itu berjalan lebih keras dan mereka berjalan dengan lambat. Pelaut biasanya pergi ke depan anjing-anjing itu dengan sepatu salju. Dia membuat salju menjadi datar. Francois memandu kereta luncur dari belakang. Pelaut sedang terburu-buru. Dia tahu semua tentang es ini dan ini sangat penting. Pada musim gugur, es itu sangat tipis. Hari demi hari Buck bekerja keras dan menarik kereta luncur. Anjing itu mulai karena hari sudah terang dan berhenti di malam hari saat gelap. Mereka makan sepotong ikan dan pergi tidur. Buck selalu lapar setiap hari. Dia makan 1 pon dan banyak. Tapi itu tidak pernah cukup. Suatu hari dia melihat anjing lain bernama Pig mencuri daging dari Pelaut. Buck melakukan hal yang sama keesokan harinya dan tidak ada yang melihatnya. Buck sedang belajar untuk hidup di Northland yang tidak bersahabat. Dia di Southland tidak pernah mencuri tapi tidak pernah lapar. Di Southland ada hukum cinta dan persahabatan. Pria dengan sweater merah mengajarinya hukum tongkat dan taring. Dia belajar makan semua jenis makanan. Dia belajar bertarung dan menjadi sangat pintar. Dia menjadi lebih kuat dan lebih primitif. Kekuatan alam di dalam dirinya menjadi hidup. Mudah bagi Buck untuk berkelahi seperti serigala karena di dalam dirinya pada malam hari dia melihat bintang dan melolong seperti yang dilakukan nenek moyangnya dulu. Bab mengikutinya. Mungkin itu sekian dari saya. Kurang lebihnya mohon maaf. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.